weekend. One was alright, went to Port Broughton.
Just move around a bit,
stuff. It's good. So, birthdays this week. Tori Whalen's 33 on Wednesday.
What's today?
Wednesday.
Happy birthday, Tori. Over to you, Nick. Switching talk. Sorry.
Yeah, look, heaps come out last week. Just one from my job. The boys picked up some cover conductor where they were supposed to put some earths on, and who was it? Sam, Munchie, and Shane were out there, and they managed to get the switching sorted, which was very good. Considering it was one of my jobs, so well done, guys. And I suppose for the Sixers, just be aware of those situations. Caught me out. Apart from that, I think we're up to getting close to 140.
Yeah, 139.
139. So you got good work. That's all I can bring up.
Cheers, Nick. Switching alerts. We got alert 503. 30th of May, unplanned switching was carried out to isolate a HV conductor on the ground at McLaren Flat. As part of the isolation, crews put Blewett Springs, the McLaren feeder was required to be tied to Blewett Springs. In order to tie the feeders, sets and protection was placed out of service. The transformer 2, unfortunately, HV controller placed transformer 1 out of service. When they tied, they dropped CV2826. The HV controller amended the switching program and restored the supply. So just a reminder that things can happen that are out of our control. Probably would have shocked the guys out on site, but no fault of theirs. 612 customers lost supply for 5 minutes. Keep that in mind though, with a lot of the storms happening, we've got a lot of weather coming this week. We had crews out last night, so a lot of unplanned switching should be happening, will be happening. General depot, so EV update was sent out last Thursday afternoon. Did everybody receive that in your emails? If you haven't received it, let me or Cam know, or Dave, and we'll send it through to you so you can have a look. It's just an email. We have to make it available to you, so have a bit of a suss of that. COVID reminder, keep up with good practices, hygiene and social distancing. So we're doing well, no COVID in South Australia, I think, at this stage. But just keep up the good work, hand sanitizer around. If you need any more, see Mark. There he is. Any wipes, just keep on top of it. With the weather, the northern connector, so concrete roads don't dissipate water as well as bitumen, so ensure your driving conditions and be careful when overtaking larger vehicles. I don't know if anybody's driven that when it's wet. Feels a little bit different. And thank you to the guys who worked on the Stiffest project last week. Crews carried out scheduled work without complaint through the rains. It shows they're committed and they understand the priority of work they're performing. So we've got another, how many we scheduled? 14 for August, 15, and a trip away to Malone, so there's heaps coming through. Very important to Saffron, so very important to us. Social media, so do not post inappropriate content. Your profile can include where you work, and this can reflect poorly on the company. So just be careful what you put on social media.
So I'll just elaborate on that. So, you know, a company like Sappin, they encourage diversity in the people that we have in our company. So that's an example. So if you go and post something that's going to have a strong opposition to what the business has got, your profile links back to your work, then that's probably not going to reflect well on yourself or the company. So if you're going to post on social issues on social media, it's fine. I don't care how you think, but just have a think about what could be the implications of that. So there's a couple of individuals I had a chat with, and that's where it's going to end. Just think about it.
Thanks, Dave. Safety alert, so bulletin, the DF use bases. So you're well aware that Lucas and Cam, I believe, are doing a lot of work around the DF bases. So this safety alert was just released. Recently, I'll read it word for word so you guys can see. So recently, several DF bases have failed with the network during switching operations. Historically, this is not an uncommon occurrence. I think everyone's aware here how often they break on us or just seize up. Acknowledging the risk, a working group has formed to review the current risk and recommend risk control improvements. This includes representatives from Enervin, Switching Mentors, Working Methods, Network Operations, Network Access and Field Service Operations. The group have identified a number of key immediate actions. Crew should ensure they're familiar with JSWP 441 and E2823 that specifies the inspection requirements and operational expectations. Note this GSWP is applicable to 11 kV disconnects as well as 33 and will be updated to reflect this. If you need that JSWP, come see me. You should be able to get it on your tough books. Just have a bit of a read of that today if you get time.
Also on the second page of the safety alert, there's a QR code that needs to be received.
Sweet as. If there's any doubt about the condition or the device or supporting equipment, it should not be operated. Importantly, when operating DFs, any operator must remain away from the drop zone. If the device falls or is being replaced because of a defect, all 3 devices should be replaced. All removed devices should be retained for further analysis by contacting Darren Milligan from Network Access. So any DF basically you bring back, give them to Greenie, and Greenie will mark them up and send them back to Darren. Where a switch fails during operation, this must be entered into Enablon. I believe we're doing this already. A description of risk to operator or public, event classification selected as switching event, photographs of insulated damage and manufacturer name and year available, equipment type is selected as disconnect fuse base. So the group will continue to analyse historical failures to further refine the management of the risk. Consideration is being given to preventing live switching on a subset of these devices and seeking priority replacement pending further analysis. In addition, Works Methods will investigate alternative switching methods to further control the risk. So working group contacts is Lucas. Lucas probably one of the actually the rest.
So are we avoiding them or still
So
switching?
the key focus is if you need to be in a position to switch where you're inside the drop zone, you don't switch on.
Okay, so if you can't get outside of that.
If you can't get out of that drop zone, then you don't do it.
So if
Yeah. And then there's a checklist here on the second page, and that's in the JSWP, and that's what you should be checking for. Yeah. So it's still okay to switch on them unless you identify risks, so rust. There's other items there. Cracks, example. Or if you need to get yourself into a position where if it were to fail, it would risk you, then don't do it. Is that clear?
So we'll look at extending the outage. If the next switching point back is, not a ground DF, and we're not going to drop off, Westfield, Marion or something like that. This has all come about because Rob Patterson in here one day said, yeah, that's fine, but what's the company doing about these? So this is the start of it.
Which is
So
a really good
this has
question.
all come from here, and it's a Sappan wide thing, and it's important to put when you bring, if any do break, well, I reckon if we pull any DFs down, any brown ones down, write the DF number on it and bring them back and we'll send them in, because there might be some tests on it. And it might be that there's just, I know at Electronet there was disc insulators failing, and it was one particular brand from a couple of years. Now most of them have the manufacturer and the year they were manufactured stamped on the top, I believe, you see it. And it could just be that it's the same lot and we just label it all as brown DFs, we don't know. There's not enough good information out there yet, other than the fact that we know that they fail at times.
Another thing to look for is either side, like if the DF next to it had failed. So you see in this photo here, there's a brown DF in the middle that failed. Previously, both of the DFs either side of that had failed. So that's a really good indication. If you go to a switching point, and you've got one brown and two grey, or one, some combination of that, that should raise some questions. You also see in the photograph there's rust marks, very apparent on that DF. So that's definitely another risk factor. I wouldn't switch on that us.
you guys know more than anyone else. You guys know when you go up and you look at the DF, if you're not comfortable with it, just pass it through. Let us know. I know when I'm switching on them, whether they're sticky, old. So
Keep in mind the scoping as well. Like we can give, if you guys are going out with sixes, there's good binoculars we've got here you can take out, but also look for that drop zone. If there's a big tree there and you can't be anywhere in the drop zone, we won't be switching on it. So just keep that in mind when scoping as well.
If you've got any other suggestions, feel free to pass them through. We've considered a lot of options, but we haven't thought of everything. So just let me know.
And this isn't the end of it, is it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. One of the things we identified is we don't have a lot of information. Right, so we know that about 10 DS fail each year. That's all we really know.
And if you do have on file, I know you're in your six anyway now, but there's a lot of information and new things we're going to do on here. But just call your six and you'll be able to get this thing up, or you can have print out pictures of the truck you want. Just to make sure we're doing the right things in regard with keeping the DFs and the serial numbers or whatever's on them, and the way we fill out the name on the floor. Everyone happy with that? Everyone clear?
if you have anything else to add, catch up with Lucas after this. Pass on to the group. Safety share. So broken latch on light vehicle toolbox. Whilst driving to a breakdown, a damaged lock unlocked itself, causing the toolbox door to open, and workers' long bag lunch fell out. So we've had that a few times here, just to inspect your vehicles. Then we come across Ryan's rear door that was broken as well, but you let Bruce know about that. So we do have some issues with some of our locks here. So just do the walk around before you leave. If it is broken and open by itself, then it's not really much, but just report it to Fleet on that one. Come across anything. Driving conditions, touched on that before, but as weather conditions continue to change across the state, the safety bulletin serves as a timely reminder for all drivers both on and off the road to drive safe and adapt to road conditions. I still think a lot of weather's coming this week. I haven't checked. Is it still? Yeah, so it could be out breakdowns, could be doing anything. So just drive to the conditions. Don't rush. We don't need an accident. Wasleys, we had vehicles bogged there. Other vehicles, we had issues. So just if it looks anything like that, maybe just stay out, call your six. It's pretty bad out there. Sealed and unsealed roads are dangerous during and after wet weather events and cause vehicles to lose traction, particularly when turning or negotiating bends on muddy and wet roads. Part of your risk assessment plan for the road or surface conditions and continue to assess the risks as they may change. So even sixes, just keep in mind where you're sending the guys. Just have a quick look. Bulletin 220, substation copper theft. So this has been circulating for some time now. A lot of substations, more country substations, are being broken into, and the earth grid copper's being stolen, compromising the protection and safety to you guys. So before you go into any substation, just have a look around, just be a bit cautious. I don't know, there's been a few, hasn't there? I don't remember exactly the number, but surprisingly a lot. This is it's been released as due to the increasing occurrence of vandalism and copper theft from substation, both regional and metro, for which the most recent instance have resulted in the removal of the transformer, neutrals and earthing from several structures. So when you walk in, just have a look around and notify NOC immediately if you come across anything. Don't switch in there, and just leave the area, lock it up. Equipment bulletin 2329 kV swerve compact reclosers. The Siemens compact recloser is being introduced for a trial as a replacement for the Cooper's E-type recloser. This unit is operated via the switching device rather than controller. The unit is powered off the line, however it has a self-rechargeable battery with a 10-year lifespan. Whilst it uses the battery for de-energization operation, this does not impact the protection function of the unit and will trip or fault. So if you come across anything like that, switching operator refer to E2880 sheet 4.1, that's the operator's handbook. But hopefully the sixes or myself will pick it up if you're switching on anything like that. We don't do a lot of swear switching, but we do it. That's all I have. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
You go, Ken.
Just one quick thing. I noticed there's some stuff dumped out front of the door in the store here. Just if no one's here, I know you don't have codes get in there. Just flick an email to your six saying what you've dropped and when you dropped it, or even a note on their desk, just so we can, because we've got to check things in and out now, so we make sure things go out and come back in good condition. So just something to think about.
I think there's some media up at Gum collect if they're going to come out in this weather. This week just to film a bit of removals. So make sure the trucks are in order. You've got a half decent shirt on if you're up that way, overalls. The other thing is a great feedback from Lincoln for the guys that went over there. So well done. It's makes their job easier when we're going to have those opportunities again. Opportunities will open up because of what you guys have done. So well done.
Ooh, one last thing, I'm off next week, so Ryan's taking over my position for the next 3 weeks. So any sick leave, anything you usually send to me as of next week, send it to Ryan.
Right. Welcome back, Ryan.
Oh, and welcome back. Cool. Thanks, guys.